It's time for another carrier product update. Tune in as we talk directly to the carriers about their new plans, any new network options they have, or which plan designs offer the most savings, and learn about the tools and resources they offer to help you generate more business. Visit our website to learn about all of the carriers we quote in our Carrier Product Update series. I'm Jason Powers, and today I'm joined by Jack Hendricks, Market Development Executive with Beam Benefits.
There you go. You got it.
Not
there you go.
Beam Dental.
There you go.
It's gonna take me some time.
Yes. Hey, it took us some
Beam
time.
Dental.
It took us some time.
Welcome to our Carrier Product Update. This is a special edition of our Carrier Product Update. It's the Q4 Kickoff Summit. Agents out in the market are getting ready to head into the busy fourth quarter renewal season.
Sure.
And they are looking for information that will help them be successful in their endeavors to sell group products, and that's why we really enjoy our partnership with Beam. I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce you to our brokers and make sure they know we've got you in our corner.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Like I said, I was able to get out in the market last week. Happy to be kind of back out here again this week. I've been with Beam for about a year now, and I was joking around. I feel like a million roles already. I told them the last time when I took over this territory that hey, this is where I work now for the next at least year. Give me a little bit of time, right? I think this is where I'd like to stay. So I've been with, like I said, I've been with Beam for a year, doing different things kind of in the revenue organization, whether it be special projects, or different outreach to brokers and groups. So I feel like I have a decent understanding of how our revenue organization works. And it gives me a little bit of a unique perspective when it comes to working with you and working with brokers, that hopefully I can offer some creative solutions to problems that maybe we didn't think we could solve before, and hopefully set everybody up for some success here coming Q4.
That's awesome. Well, let's get right into it. Talk us through the new, I'm going to call it an ecosystem,
Sure.
The new Beam ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's no longer just a dental or vision company. We're talking about an overall system.
Absolutely, yeah. So you touched on it before. A couple of months ago, we went through a full rebrand. We used to be Beam Dental, now Beam Benefits, and really the push there was we released some new products, and I'll go into those a little bit later. But three main products that we released: voluntary life, hospital indemnity, and then accident products as well. We saw a major demand from both brokers and groups in the industry that were looking for a simpler process when it comes to offering those products. I talk with people about my experience before Beam. I come from more of a startup background as opposed to an insurance background. So I was working for a startup called Mirror that ended up getting bought by Lululemon. Mirror's that at-home fitness mirror that you can go buy. And so I got the Beam, and they started to explain to me how we do insurance and how we've kind of brought our products to market and how they're simpler and they're smarter and they're better and they're easier to use. And I'll never forget, I was talking with somebody who was putting me through kind of a training seminar, and I stopped them and I said, "Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Isn't that how this is that not how this isn't that not how this goes?" And that was when I started to learn. Oh my gosh, there's a massive opportunity in this industry, and that's when I really got invested and really interested in what Beam was doing. And so certainly we started as a toothbrush company. Actually, 10 years ago is how we really started, but started writing dental and vision policies 5 or 6 years ago. And now obviously, as you can see on the screen, we've got a full suite of products when it comes to dental. We can completely customize any plan for you. Dental, vision, basic employer life, short-term and long-term disability. Obviously the accident policies, hospital indemnity, and then that voluntary life product that I mentioned as well. So we really believe that we have one of the most robust benefits offerings in the entire industry right now, which we know is obviously really important to a lot of groups.
And not just, not to focus on dental, but that's probably the main product we see quote requests for in our efforts. And when we look at those dental plans, we've talked in several conversations with other carriers and even brokers in the common 180-50 kind of deal. What I really like about the Beam environment is we can customize those plans. It's not a one size fits all approach. You don't have like a a book rate kind of table benefit. It's-
Completely, and that's not even just talking about co-insurances, right? That's not even just talking about how those are structured. We can actually get into the plan design itself. So we were talking in the office earlier, all of our plans, standard no waiting periods, we can certainly add them if we need to, but standard plans, no waiting periods, no downgrades on composites, obviously, certainly no missing tooth clause. We're definitely going to cover implants. We'll write all of our plans standard to the 90th UCR. We can go up to the 95th. But again, like you said, we can really get creative with how we customize in and out of network coverages, customize where different procedures fall in the major or in the basic coverages, and really put together a plan that is right for the group. I think that is my main job, right? Obviously my main job is to make sure that the broker experience is incredible and that the groups get exactly what they need. But when it comes to creativity and putting things together, my job is to really look at the group, maybe look at a plan that they have right now, and create them something that is really going to work for them. We want to make sure that we can mold our business to the clients and to our customers and who we're working with. And I think that's really important, especially in the insurance industry, to make sure that customer is certainly taken care of.
Sure, and you do all that with some insurance companies have stuffed animals. I would say that Beam has the Smart Brush.
We do, yeah. So the Smart Brush is one of, to me, I'm kind of I heard this term yesterday, a dental dork. So I think that the toothbrush is really, really cool. So the toothbrush, that's actually, it's a really interesting story. I think it's worth talking about. So when we started about 10 years ago, we were started by 3 engineers. And a lot of their family members were in the dental industry, whether it be on the insurance side of things or actually in dental offices. And this is right when Fitbits and Apple Watches really started to kind of jump on the scene and people were starting to track their fitness. And so Alex, our CEO, said, hey, we should do this for the dental industry. We should find a way to kind of track brushing data and track healthy habits and see kind of how we can do that. So they engineered a toothbrush it's a Bluetooth enabled toothbrush. You can connect it to your phone and all of our members get these toothbrushes for free. So these are still completely included in our plans. And completely up to the member, it's totally optional, but if they would like to, they can connect the toothbrush to our app on their phone. And then when they're brushing their teeth, ideally twice a day for 2 minutes, we give that group a brush score at renewal. And the better the group is brushing their teeth, they can actually save on their premiums at renewal. And so they're not only just saving on their premiums, right? The group isn't just saving money. I'm not sure if this was an update the last time that we spoke, but members can actually redeem points in the app, not only for just brush heads and toothpaste, but they can now get Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift cards, and really get things that they want to use. And so, we think that the saving at renewal is awesome. It's a great piece of the puzzle. But really giving that member a direct reward for healthy brushing habits really helps us promote a wellness program. And again, when I talk about taking care of our members and taking care of our groups, I think that's an important piece of it.
Definitely, and it's you mentioned in the beginning that it's really Beam's mission really is to kind of create a simpler process and a simpler flow, and with that integrated technology with and admin platforms, right? So that's something I know Lighthouse is something that we use heavily in the Beam environment, but that now has got a crosstalk back with some of the common Ben admin platforms we got out there, right?
Completely. So we'll have direct integrations with the platforms that are on the screen here. And then one thing that's really unique about Beam is, I heard this recently. So we're a technology company that does insurance really, really well. We're not an insurance company that does technology really well. Right. We're a technology company that is incredible at insurance. And because of that, if you bring me a Ben admin platform that we don't necessarily have a direct integration to, we can connect into that completely for free. We're not going to charge to set up that connection. We do it really, really quickly. And chances are we've already connected into the system before, so we kind of understand how to transfer file feeds back and forth. Our EDI team has gotten really experienced on how to work with all of these different Ben admin platforms. And being that technology first company allows us to have people in-house that are ridiculously good at their jobs, really innovative with how they're connecting into these platforms. And again, going back to if a group really likes a specific Ben admin platform, we're not going to let that be the reason that we're not going to offer them a better dental plan or a better vision plan or a better life plan, right? We don't want that to be the thing that shuts it down.
Sure.
And so we've developed a system to where we can connect into any Ben admin platform very quickly, and at no cost to the group.
That's wonderful. And again, not just dental. We are talking about a
Exactly.
full ancillary suite of products, and I see that there's expansion across the country. I know when we first got word of the rounding out of the portfolio, it was kind of isolated in some markets. Talk to us about the expansion.
Yep, just had another expansion, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks ago. So now we're kind of updated to the map that you see on your screen here. So for anybody that's maybe just on the phone, so we're looking at Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, and Florida are voluntary life only for the new products, but Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah, all going to be offering those voluntary life, accident, and then hospital indemnity products as well. And that's really exciting. We're going to continue to grow our states, as we continue to move, as we continue to grow. We'll start to be live in more states across the country. We've already started to see success. We kind of opened them up in different markets where we felt like we had a really good understanding of how that process would work. I think what you'll see with Beam as we continue to grow just as a company, we are really smart and meticulous with how we grow. We're not going to go do something crazy tomorrow just because it sounds cool and we can put something out on LinkedIn. We are really meticulous with how we offer new products and how we bring new products to market, how we grow the company even when it comes to headcount. So when you're working with Beam, I want you to know that you're working with a company that's secure. You're working with a company that isn't going to just fly off and do something crazy that isn't going to work in the next 2 years. We really take a data-driven approach to make sure that we're doing things the right way and we're expanding really smartly as opposed to just expanding.
Sure.
Yeah.
And something we'll start seeing more. I think more of a demand now that we know we can add those ancillary coverages outside of dental life insurance.
Certainly, yeah. So, and keep in mind too, these are not, hey, you need a dental plan and then you can go get life. If you want to just quote life or you just want to quote voluntary life with us, we can absolutely do that. The reason I kind of wanted to go into the life policies and kind of go into voluntary life specifically is, for anybody on the phone or watching here, what's the worst part of writing a voluntary life product is you inevitably are going to have to go through an EOI process with some of the members, right? Our product team saw a major opportunity in that space, just in the industry as a whole. And I'm not even sure if we've talked about this yet. Yeah, so some EOI processes are going to be long paperwork. Mail it off. You forgot to check a box. You get it mailed back to you. You mail it. And at the end of the day, the member doesn't even want to sign up for the product anymore because it's gotten too complicated. So we'll have some guarantee issue plans, but when a member wants additional coverage and they want to go through that EOI process, we're actually looking at just about a 6-question survey through the Beam app, and 95% of the time our members are finding out if
On
they're
the phone?
correct. Finding out if they're approved or not on the spot 95% of the time.
EOI through the app on the phone.
Correct.
No paper.
Correct. And if you're going through a Ben admin platform, you're going to get an email with links. And those are things that we're working to get better on, is connecting these new products into those Ben admin platforms. We certainly have solutions for them now. They're just going to get more streamlined as we continue to roll them out. But yeah, it's pretty special.
Wow. Okay, so size doesn't matter what size.
We'll actually write all the way down to 3 unrelated lives for our voluntary life, accident, and hospital indemnity plans. Right now we're going up to 100 lives for those groups. If you bring us a group that's over 100 lives, we can see if we can get creative with how we would put that plan together. But currently, right now, we're looking at 3 to 100, and we can start writing those policies today.
Wow, that is good news.
Yeah, there you go.
That you didn't tell me before. So yes, that's awesome news.
Yeah.
I can tell you the noise that we see is it's clunky, right? You write a vol life policy across the group, and somebody elects over the guaranteed issue amount, or maybe they come after, like they're a late entrant on it, and they want to add vol life down the road. Getting that EOI turned in and back and forth with all the mailings, and the broker's not in the communication loop, so the bill doesn't look right, and then all of a sudden the rates change on the bill, and there's not a lot of information there. So speeding up that process, I think,
Yeah.
will create more success and more opportunity in that wildlife space.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, again, trying to create certainly a product that is awesome for the groups and certainly their members as well. But taking a broker-driven approach and understanding that those are headaches that you were likely dealing with, we're trying to create our process and build our processes from the ground up to make sure that you don't have to deal with stuff that you don't want to. And that's really, really important to us in understanding that there are more stakeholders in this game than maybe originally thought. That certainly groups and members are still the end consumer, but if brokers have headaches that we can alleviate, then we're going to go do that for them.
In products, we have seen an increase of demand for additional products like accident, hospital indemnity. Those are two that are offered as well.
Correct. Yeah. So those are two products that are offered in those states currently right now as well. Biggest thing to note here for our accident policies, and this goes back to having a simplified approach to a benefits offering, is we don't have a benefit schedule or anything like that. So we're not going to pay you differently for fracturing your right wrist or dislocating your kneecap. If it's a covered accident, you get the full payout of the benefit. So you're not looking at a very confusing schedule of benefits where you're getting paid out very odd amounts for one side of your body versus the other side, and then the member's confused, why am I only getting
It's like
four?
you got to strike the lottery.
Exactly.
Right?
It gets very. I was at a conference last week, and somebody brought to me a summary of accidents or that could qualify, and one of the codes was sucked into a jet engine for a second time was an actual code in one of these policies. And I said, man, if we survived the first time, I'm more power to you. It's impressive that we got to number 2. And also, why are we putting ourselves in that situation again? That's
I suppose depending on the profession.
I guess so. But yes, that was a very eye-opening experience for me to really start to see that in real life and start to see what members and groups are looking at. It makes me happy and excited to wake up and then go to work in the morning, because I know that we know that we are offering something that is going to make the lives of our members better, and that's something that is really awesome to do every day.
Yeah. Great. Jack, I appreciate all the updated information on Beam and what's going on with Beam. Any thoughts to as we enter Q4, submission timelines, things that we should tips and tricks for brokers as they're selling cases? It'll help Andrea as she's managing submissions on our side. Things we can do to make things a little bit easier on the Beam implementation.
Well, number 1, go through Beam. That's what I would recommend. Number 1 overall.
Sure.
But no, for getting quotes back, I hold myself to a standard of getting quotes back in under 48 hours. That's our standard of care, is under 48 hours we will have quotes back. We like to be really quick with how we do things,
Sure.
right? In busy season implementations, we should be looking at 7 to 10 days ideally for an implementation right now, and that is busy season Q4.
Sure.
Oftentimes we're getting groups implemented next day. So I like to under promise, over deliver. So that's why I kind of give those numbers. But I had a group implemented next day the other day. So we can be really quick with how we're getting groups implemented. Honestly, I sent an email out a few weeks ago. Send us your most difficult groups. Challenge me, like genuinely. Send me something that you think, man, I don't even know if this policy exists. I don't even know if we could design this dental plan or vision plan or whatever you're looking for. Send that our way. I would be really interested to take a look. I personally enjoy putting those plans together and getting creative with how we design things. So that, if anything, keep challenging us, keep putting us to the test. And if you haven't tried Beam, if you haven't placed a group with Beam, I would recommend giving it a shot and seeing what your experience is like. What I've noticed is when those first couple of groups get placed with Beam, brokers and groups really start to understand the value that we can provide them, and we start to see a major shift within an office. We really believe in what we're doing. We believe in the future of this industry. We believe in our brokers. We believe that you are an integral piece of this entire process. I think you and I would both agree that broker relationship, the role of the broker is ridiculously important in this, and that's something that we will never forget. That's something that I personally will never forget. And as we continue to build and as we continue to grow, it's really a driving force with everything that we do.
I couldn't agree more. Jack, thank you so much for being here, being part of our carrier product update. You heard it from Jack. If you've got Beam renewals coming up, make sure that we're adding these other ancillary lines. Talk to Teresa in our office, and she'll get you those proposals. If you've got group medical cases where you don't have the ancillary, take a look at, or even if you do have the ancillary with another name brand carrier in the dental space, or a name brand carrier that you've been working with on the life insurance, do take a look at Beam. We've seen a large influx of new Beam business because of competitive rate position, the technology, and just the overall experience for members and administrators.
That's great to hear. And if you need a toothbrush, let me know.
Yeah,
We'll send some toothbrushes out to you.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's
absolutely.
happy to hear. I'm happy to hear that.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thank you, Jack. Thank you, brokers, for tuning in. Have a great Q4. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching this edition of our Carrier Product Update series. Visit our website to watch other episodes.